Welcome to Christ-Centered Living, CCL. Have you ever felt deep within, like there's more to your life than what you can see right now? What if God asked you to leave behind everything you've ever known, to walk away from your routine, your comfort zone, your sense of control, and trust Him with the future you can't yet see? Well, today's story is about a man who did just that. I am your host Shirley, and I'm so glad you've joined me for today's episode titled, You Are Called to a Promise. You can find today's story in the book of Genesis, beginning in chapter 12. In our last episode, you heard the story of Noah, the great man of faith who built an ark in obedience to God, even when there was no sign of rain or storm. Today, you'll hear about another man who answered God's call, later known as the father of faith. His name is Abram. After the great flood, Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, spread across the earth. And from Shem's lineage came Terah, who had a son named Abram. Abram's life began in the city of Ur, a prosperous place in Mesopotamia, full of wealth and sophistication. But Ur was also a land of idols. The people worshipped the moon god, and the true God was unknown. Abram grew up in this world, with his family deeply rooted in idolatry. But one day, the voice of the true God spoke to Abram. Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all people on earth will be blessed through you. God spoke. It was a vast promise, one that seemed impossible. But Abram, despite the comforts of Ur, chose to obey. At 75 years old, he left behind the life he knew, the land of his ancestors, and the idols of his people. With his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all his possessions, Abram set off towards the land God promised. When they arrived in Canaan, the land was already inhabited by the Canaanites. It was foreign to Abram, nothing like the land he had left behind. Yet, this was the place God had promised. Abram traveled through the land until he came to Shechem. There, God appeared to him again, saying, To your offspring I will give this land. Though Abram was childless, he believed the promise. Abram's obedience and faith would shape the future of nations, and later, as we will see, God did bless them with numerous descendants and gave them the land of Canaan. Through him, God's promise to bless all people would ultimately be fulfilled in Jesus Christ. Dear listeners, Abraham's story is a beautiful reminder that God's promises are bigger than our circumstances. Abraham left behind everything he knew, the comfort of home, to follow a calling he couldn't fully see. Just as Abraham trusted God when he called him to leave Ur, God is calling you to trust Him with the unknown in your life. You may not have a clear map of where you're headed, but if you trust God's voice and take the first step of obedience, He will guide you to the land He's promised. The path might be uncertain, but His faithfulness is certain. He is always leading you towards something greater, and His plans for you are always filled with hope. May you trust Him as Abraham did, knowing that the steps you take in faith lead to the fulfillment of God's promises for your life. God bless you.